Welcome back, and this looks like a face, doesn't it? Handsome chap. Right, as we were dismantling this Style 6 baby Ben with a weird date stamp, just showing what the alarm looks like from the inside. The bell will hit the outside of this. Probably not made that noise. Because my hands are on the outside, that's why. So today we can probably start letting this thing down. Boo-hoo, what a letdown. And removing this knob. Knob removal. So yeah, these, I can't work out if these are nickel plated brass, which is a good thing, or unblued steel, which is just a meh type thing. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they ever were nickel plated brass, to be honest. Probably were. So let's start with the time, which is this big old thick thing. That's so thick it protrudes out the thing. And I don't know why, because the first baby Bens did not have this lump. I don't know if the springs were thinner. If you think about it, why would the springs be thinner? You'd have thought, you know, there's not enough power there. Maybe they made them thinner, the springs, like thinner as in the actual material thickness of it, like how thick the ribbon is. Why am I winding it up? I don't want to wind it up, I want to wind it down. And thankfully, Westclox have been kind enough to put a little extension on the back of this click, which allows me to just use my normal finger, or thumb in this case, to let this thing down. I'll zoom you in. And to let this thing down, I'm just going to wind, as if I was winding it up, then push it in like that, and then like slowly release the key, like that. You don't want to do that when it's fully wound, you want to do more gradually, but because this is already unwound, it's not much of a risk of the thing blowing up on you. Because you don't want to have this thing twiddling around at like 50 miles an hour, destroying your skin, maybe even breaking bones. You don't want that, and I don't want to be held responsible for that either. So as we are next, the alarm, which I can just let down by just twiddling it like that. Remember that click there, in and out, in, out, in, out, like that, shake it all about. And then we can remove our barrel bridges, which I believe are these. And these are held in by 3 bolts each. So I'll just take this one off. And then I will take this one off. Move this regulator out of the way. And then this one's a bit... because this is by the opening at the back, where the cover wasn't slid down. And you can see the rust and moisture's taken its toll and rusted the screw out a little bit, making it harder to remove. But it's okay, we got it out. And finally, we have this one. And if you let it down properly, nothing should happen. However, if there's power left in this thing, the barrel might even just come out like that. It'll do this. And then it'll explode. So let's get this thing out. And oh yeah, this, I like the Style 7, this bridge here also has the hammer under it. So this is this thing, this will come apart in a second. This alarm hammer is also tucked under there, and I will bet you anything I will forget to put that back in. So just going to take this thing out like this, and we have a spring inside. Let's take the spring out. I don't know the best way to do this. Probably not like that. I'll get something like this sock, and I will start it off like this, then I'll put the sock around it, because I don't have gloves, and then hopefully it won't blow up on me. I'm just trying to massage it out from under this cover. Shouldn't be hard to put back in again. Nothing like a mantle clock. Oh yeah, I can feel it coming out. It's giving birth. Alright, there we go. And to avoid ripping our spring in half, I'll just push it out like that. And now we have a spring which is slightly bent at the end, but I can always re-bend that. Oh, what a horrible noise. Alright, next up we have an alarm spring, which we let down as well. So I will remove, and this is already so much lighter. This movement, or these movements rather, weigh next to nothing when the barrels aren't in there, because the springs are quite chunky. Right. Got a bit of a dry throat. We've got 1. We got 2. We got 3. Like that. And now we are one spring movement, the hairspring being the only spring in this one, and this one is being a bit stubborn and wants to take the whole spring out of its thing. There we go. So now I will do the same to this one. I think this one's going to come out with the wheel itself. Oh, there we go. Yeah, these won't really cut you. I mean, they're just very small springs. These are long ones. So take this out. Now we got both springs out of their things. Spring things. We can see it's stamped made in Scotland up there, which is a true fact. There we go. There's oil residue everywhere, which is a bit gross. That'll be cleaned off. And then we have our hairspring and balance wheel. So it's pinned in, thankfully, unlike Style 8. So we're just going to remove this pin and keep a very good eye on it. And then we can just move this thing around, zoom in a bit. What's this guy doing with his hairspring? We can try and get this. You see I've got a blood blister on my thumb. That's nothing to do with the clocks. So I'm just going to push it out from the back. Where's my wooden stick? My produlus, I'm going to call it. I'm just going to push this out through the back like that. Come on then. Come on then, and it is almost out. And now it's mostly out, I can probably pull it out from the other side. I'm being very careful, because this hairspring is so delicate compared to a standard alarm clock. Probably because it's so small. And just trying to get that through the regulator now, which is the last hurdle. Now we have a hairspring not in thing. And then we can use tweezers or pliers, probably pliers, because it's a bit tight, to take this balance cup out. And look at that, what's it deposited on the desk? A balance wheel and hairspring, which I will protect with all my life. Still pretty sharp on the points, you can feel it actually stabbing into my flesh. So next, I will attempt to remove this knob, which does not look hard. I bet I can do it in one fell swoop. Just grab my pliers, using the rounded back pliers. You can see there's a spring under there, which I do not want to compact too much, otherwise it might deform. And oh no, the unfortunate situation is that this knob is so high up that it doesn't want to do that. So I'll just try this. Can I just use the double plier method? Good old double plier method. Good old double plier method. Probably use these as my bottom pliers. Just leave them like that. Just to take away that height that we are troubling with. And then I will, because we've got no balance wheel and hairspring in there, I can be a bit more rigorous with what I do. I don't want to put it over there because this is a thin bit of brass I don't want to bend. Try it on this side. There we go. Gotcha. Boom. One knob, one dust protecting washer, and one spring. Keeps it flat against the back. So if you don't have the door for the regulator up like this one was, it should be completely dust proof. However, we know what happens when it's not. You see someone squashed the dial in as well. If you look at this, it's bent, so I'm just going to unbend it a little bit. I don't know if it's supposed to be like that, but I assume it's not. There we go. And these are all a bit bent. Probably the pressure from the glass and being tightened up over the years. I wouldn't be surprised if this has been serviced before. Right, now we are left with a pretty bare looking thing. So we can just remove the nuts, and then we should be good to go. Like that. Oops. And like that. And like that. This is pretty shiny underneath all this oily mess. I bet this is going to be a pretty shiny, good-looking movement when we're done with it. So yeah, no spring tension to worry about. Got a lovely and interesting little thing there. And this is all we have to deal with. A great design where you can remove the barrels beforehand. We've got these lantern pinions on there. And an escape wheel. Got a lever or pallet, whatever. Still don't know what that thing's called. We've got a, what is it, second wheel? No, third wheel, that's it. Third wheel and fourth wheel, I think. And then we got a alarm escape wheel, and we are left with this thing, which I will probably not remove. Can I? These things are always a pain. I'll probably leave this one on, because these cannon pinions, I don't know what they're like. On some movements you can remove them without any worry, but on some of them they just lose their tension immediately and you'll regret it. Not tension, grip. So I'm going to leave this one on because I can get to the underneath of it pretty well. So yeah, a usable date stamp up there again. Just get a good eyeful of that. Look at that. Yeah, I wonder how many years they used that for. Maybe the early 7s had it as well, I don't know. Oh, this is looking really trippy, look at that. Bloody hell, that middle thing's staying the same, the rest is blurry. And now I'll remove the front plate from the front of the inner case. Like that. And then like that. And then I guess reconstructing this thing will just be what I just did in backwards. And if you don't want to watch that, just watch the dismantling backwards and then you'll be okay. Alright, let's get this off. Alright, we got these, which are not dissimilar to the ones used on the back of Style 8, maybe Style 7 and Style 8 in a case, where they attach the movement to the back of it instead of the front, which is reminiscent of the differences with the Big Ben Style 1 and Style 1A, where the Style 1 had it like this, where the movement was attached to the front of the inner case, where the dial goes onto, and the 1A, they moved it so it was now attached to the back, and that's why you have different methods. Do another spin. And now we have the front plate, which doesn't look too badly worn, although I'll have to, you know, the devil's in the detail, have to clean it down a bit to get a better judgment of that. But now you can see all of these bits and bobs scattered all over the place, and let's just hope I know what I'm doing. So thanks for watching, and that's what it is.